Hello and welcome to Spicy in Wisconsin, episode 2. An episode 2 that feels like an episode 18 because of the amount of time that we have spent on this project. It has been going for a very, very long time. This is, it's been a long week, Leah. It's been a long week. Hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. We need to do some introductions. First of all, welcome to Spicy in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin first talk about Bill. We talk about boys.
I do like that one.
Have we decided, is that our official intro music?
I don't think we've decided yet. We're still in process. It's still in process. And while I'm at it, Leah, I better introduce you. Welcome to the show. My ride or die, my BFF, through it all, through the goods, through the bad, the goods and the bads. Here she is. Why isn't that playing?
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
I'm
And
so
there
glad
we
to
go.
be here. Thank you.
Welcome to the show. It has been a long one. You might be also hearing a little giggling in the background, and that is because we have with us today a special guest. He will be introduced very soon. He's on our video today as well, and we will get to that in just a second. First, we have a few other things that we need to handle here at the beginning of the show. First of all, I want to thank all of you so much for your engagement, for being involved. We've been receiving incredible feedback, emails, just like in-person notes. And I know we're going to get to this a little bit later, but we received some international commentary, which is like super exciting. And in general, even though I said multiple times this week, basically, fuck it. I am done with this. I'm not equipped for it. I thought that like the recording software was going to do me in.
Wait, hold on. Should we just explain to people what happened? Did you really explain what happened?
It's like trauma. I don't even want to go back into it.
We recorded the best episode yet, which was episode 2. We were
With our
so
friend
excited
Steve.
about Steve has a very young baby. He took a lot of time out of his life to be there for us. And then we recorded this episode, and then we realized after we recorded it that our audio track had not recorded.
Yeah, so basically it was just like you would hear like Spicy in Wisconsin, and then like Steve would laugh, and there'd be like 45 minutes of silence. It was absolutely terrible. And then that night I went home and I spent like 2 hours in this like tiny like windowless room. It's like 90 degrees, 95. And then Greg was like coming in and being like, the kids are hungry.
And you're like, I can't.
No, literally, I was like, you make dinner. Like, I was gone. I was like in another dimension of hell. And because like some of the stuff was just like so funny. And I was like, it's gone. I can't do this anymore. But actually, one thing that was really positive was like some people just being like, hey, keep going, do what it takes. Actually, when I first walked in, I said to Greg, our recording, the audio didn't record. And he's like, well, think about it this way, honey. It's something you love and you'll get to do it again. And I was like, I will fucking kill you. I will just fucking kill you right now. Like, it was a very positive message, but it was not like I couldn't.
You couldn't receive it. You could not receive that message. Yeah.
No. Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead and we talked about Leah. I'm going to give a quick update on what the run of the show is today so everyone knows what's coming. We are going to have the Lazinator on, our first ever guest, much anticipated, talking personal finance, life lessons, mental sanity, etc. And then we're going to move into a new segment which we are introducing, which is called Spicer Who. Okay? Spicer Who. We've had some requests for more information about who we are, where we're from, our age difference, how to pronounce Leia's name,
how we grew up,
all of this. So we're just going to start that segment with a little pronunciation on Leia's name, where her name came from, etc. Then we move into a section called News You Can Use, which Leah thinks we should call tips, tricks, and hacks with the Spicer sisters. So
There you go.
kind of working on those. And then we're going to do a little 4-dimensional charades. And finally, we did want to mention we will be revisiting the book club, but we're going to do that at the end of the show today in order for those who are not listening or not reading the book and just like tune out. All right. So I think that's it. I think we're going to move right into quickly. We're going to do, before we do our guest segment, we're going to quickly talk about Leah's name, and we're going to do Spicer Who. Okay, Spicer
Okay, we're going to do
Who.
that first.
Yeah, let's roll into Spicer Who real quick. Okay, so just a little quick background on our family. We are Leah's number 6, and
Other way.
I'm number 6, and Leah's number 7 of 7 kids.
Uh-huh.
We grew up here in Southwest Wisconsin, and
We did. Some of our other siblings grew up in other parts of the Midwest.
Right.
And
there's
mostly in Wisconsin.
Yeah, there's a huge age gap between our oldest brother, who was born in 1970, and then Leah, who was born in 1993.
Yeah, so that's 23 years between our oldest sibling and me.
Yeah, and a big question that people often have is like, were your parents religious? The answer is no. They were not religious, but they did have a lot of kids. They were kind of like, they're hippies, but I don't even know how to explain this, but they're like square hippies.
Yeah, right. Like they don't really smoke pot. They don't, I don't know. Yeah, that's the way to explain it.
They're not spiritual people either.
Yeah, right. They're not like into like TM or anything. That would be like transcendental meditation.
Like major eye roll at anybody being like, "Oh, I felt your aura." Like our mom would be like, "I don't like that woman." Like, why, mom? Like that would be why. So,
I think that's accurate. Yeah. And another thing about them. Sorry, go ahead, Steve.
But I was say, it sounds like your parents were like dipping their toe into being hippies, but like weren't fully willing to do the whole hippie, just the kid part of the hippie.
Well, Steve, we're gonna have to introduce you now since you're talking actively. So
I have so many questions based on everything you just said in the first 5 minutes.
Bitch better have my money.
We just had to get that in the clear.
So also, I think something that is really interesting about our parents too is that they met when they were really young. So they got married when they were 18 and 19 or 17
and 19. Yeah,
they
got married then, and they had a kid. Well, Steve, you said you had some questions. I mean, roll one at us.
I think that was like kind of the first step. You kind of like framed up like how your parents met and kind of like what their plan was, because you guys grew up on a farm, right?
Yeah. Okay, wait. So they met in San Francisco, California during 1969, which was the summer of love, right?
It was.
And their first date was a Peter, Paul, and Mary concert. And then shortly after that, they got married. They had their first child in San Francisco, and then it was kind of that back to the land time, right? So people were really they were fleeing the cities, they were moving to countries, going for this like simpler life, or maybe you could grow some of your own food. So that's when they moved across the country to Wisconsin.
And they were poor. So like there was a friend's hunting house second, cottage thing in Wisconsin that they could go live in, and that's why they chose to come live in Wisconsin.
They also tell a story about when they were driving across the country with small children, that sometimes you would just lay the seats down in the back of a station wagon and then like put a blanket down and the babies would just like roll around.
No, they said that until Isaac was a kid. Isaac's our middle brother. He's the middle of the pack. They were like, it was great. Mom would literally be like, throw a few toys in the back, some blankets, and you were good. I was like, that sounds amazing.
It does.
But okay, one question that people were actually asking specifically. So this is a little bit of background, and we are going to do a full episode more about our family and maybe have one of our parents on, and or a sibling. But people are really confused about how to pronounce your name, Leah.
Yeah, right. A lot of people probably think it's Leah. I don't know. I don't know what happened there.
It's a really interesting thing because like I ask our parents sometimes. So mom said to me point blank, I'd never heard it pronounced any other way. I'm like, what are you smoking? She doesn't smoke anything.
Except for that one time. Maybe she'll tell that story on the air.
Oh my God. So it's pronounced like Princess Leia. Our older siblings are Jacob, Seth, Jessica, Isaac, and Esau.
Yeah, and then Moriah.
And then Moriah and Leah. And my name is a little tricky too, but mostly people just butcher that one. Usually it's like Miranda. Like they're totally off. Or like Maureen. I'm like not even close. But my family nickname is Mo. M-O. But the O throws people off. But your name I feel like is hardest because like Leah is the traditional pronunciation I feel like for how that name is spelled.
That would be actually interesting to know. I mean, I think there are Leahs and Leahs. My new thing that I've said is that I'm claiming both. That like I'll take Leah or Leah.
I don't think you can do that.
Why?
By the way, this I would just like to quickly shout out our listener in New York who at one point in his career was managing, like, I think all things finance related for Great Wolf Lodge. I may be a bit off on that specifically. And that person was like, I don't know how to pronounce your sister's name. Can you give some clarification on that? And I just found the irony coming from a person whose name is spelled Cyril, which is like an absolute, I'm just, even still, we did this whole thing on the last one that we unfortunately didn't record, so we can't like fully go back into it. But even now, like, how do we pronounce that?
Yeah, Cyril. Yeah, I don't
Cyril.
know.
We can check it here. Let's just see. Let's just check the pronunciation. Oh, there he is. Okay, here we go. I think it's Cyril. Ready?
Yeah.
This is like my favorite thing to do.
If you're an
sorry,
HVAC
guys.
professional with 5
I'm going to pause that one real quick. We'll tee that up for you.
Okay,
But
just
Cyril
read that.
is the pronunciation.
Cyril.
We are going to move past that because I don't want you guys to hear my YouTube ad that was not quite meant to be in the mix, So we're just going to pretend that I didn't play that, and we're going to continue with Cyril.
Yeah,
Cyril. Okay. I think we're ready to introduce our first ever guest again. Steve, you kind of have already gotten a little bit of an introduction, but can you tell us a bit more about yourself? And we can talk a little bit about, we're personal friends, but also like you have been very interested in the podcast and you've been really helpful in it. And we appreciate you coming on. So we're just going to quickly remind people what you are bringing to the table is this.
He's the my money.
I think that is so funny.
He's the
I do like it because it's like, you guys, we're gonna have a special appearance from my mom who's coming down the stairs behind us. So hold on.
Oh,
because
great,
she needs to
good.
play She needs to play mahjong. So let me log on to my computer. Okay?
Hello, welcome to the show.
They can see you, but it's okay. Don't worry about it.
We're
It's fine.
happy to see you,
We're good.
Sue. Thanks for joining. Look at this. I mean, we got a twofer. We got a twofer on the Lazos family.
Oh yeah. No. Just let me log into my own computer. Thank you.
I've never played mahjong.
Don't worry. I played yesterday for the first time, and it was very fun. And it's also insanely, and I did win a game. Thank you. Yes, thank you for reminding me.
She's gone.
And it's insanely complicated.
She's gone.
And
I love that, by the way.
It's a
Thank
card
you.
game? Mahjong? It's a card game?
It's like a tile game.
Yeah, tile.
We actually bought. My mom's been playing it now for, it feels like 5 or 6 years, and she does it all online, which is fun. So like she can play like remote. She's playing with her friends back in New Hampshire here on her computer, which is great. And I bought a tile set. So now I'm going to learn how to play it here. So we'll have a set. in
Nice.
Chicago.
People
See
love
what
it.
happens,
It's
but
a
it'd be
very
good.
social thing. I mean, it's
It's fun.
a whole deal. All right, so Steve, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. First of all, thank you guys for having me on the show. Thank you guys for having me on the show 2.5 now. So I've done it
Twice.
officially twice, which is great. I'm a father of 3 kiddos. We have a daughter, a son, and a daughter. You guys alluded to our new little baby who's 5 months old. My wife Christina and I have been in Chicago now for almost 10 years. We love it here. We've met some great people like Moriah and Leah through birthday parties and now the podcast again and all sorts of good stuff. So it's been fun. Like the Midwest is a cool place. And I am now like the biggest like cheerleader for Chicago in the Midwest because the coast don't give us a fair shake here.
Amen,
this is
baby.
a great fucking place.
Amen.
Yeah,
I
Great
do
fucking
remember though,
place.
you guys are East Coasters. So like when we first met you at daycare, I thought Christina like hated me. Like fully, just like every time I'd be like, I really like her and she's so interesting, but like I cannot get a read on her. And then Greg was like, they're East Coasters. Like, it's just a different thing. Whereas like now I feel like you have a little bit more of that, just like shoot the shit, gab around a little. But like, would you say that is a real difference between the Midwest and the East Coast?
It is. So I lived in, grew up in New Hampshire. So like Southern New Hampshire, which is like Massachusetts' redneck cousin. And like the difference that you get in New England is everyone is gruff and it's fast and it's just like no one has time for anyone. No one has time for any bullshit other than like what you are doing in the given moment.
Yeah.
I lived in North Carolina for a little while though, and so you get like that flip flop of like Southern hospitality. The difference though, I think, is like Southern hospitality is like the niceness mixed with like the bless your heart, which is really an insult of like you're a fucking idiot. And so I think when you go to the Midwest, you get the like Midwest nice is real and it's not a bad thing. I think it truly is like this constant and never ending like stream of like chill hospitality. And I think so like I think that definitely rubbed off on me in a positive way coming from, you know, New England, North Carolina, and now here. And I know for a fact when I remember this moment. Went up, I was ordering a coffee somewhere at a coffee shop in Boston. And I'm like watching everyone just be pissed at the barista. And I just said, like, I stopped and I was like, how you doing today? Just like friendly, because I had been like, and it's like a different feel. Like everyone at least has like a little bit of patience and time for people. It's nice.
Yeah.
And it was so funny too. I had to get my car inspected. This is a small story. I had to get my car inspected after coming back from North Carolina. I take it to the one of the auto body shops to get it inspected. My horn didn't work because I hadn't used my horn in the 4 years I lived in North Carolina. Because no one does it.
Wow.
They're like, they'd rather go into an intersection and stare at each other.
That's actually so okay.
So interesting.
That reminds me of something. When I was just recently maybe it's a year ago or so, I was in Portland, Oregon, and I was visiting a friend who, by the way, Leah, she just told me that your haircut was making her want to cut her hair. So she's loving her hair.
God.
But this friend, I was going to visit her, and I'm like driving through this tunnel, and the horns are going off. Beep, 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 all through the tunnel. I'm like, oh my God. You know, when you're driving somewhere new, I'm in a rental car. I'm like, what's going on? You know, it's my lights out. Like, are my lights on? Okay. No, on the way back through the same tunnel. Beep, 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 beep. It's just like a thing people are doing. But I'm like, this is so dangerous. Like, don't do that. Like, it was so alarming. So, yeah, horn use is cultural, apparently. All right. So, Steve, you know, with all of our guests, we had proposed to tell us, like, what would you suggest for sponsorship? Because, you know, if I could make this my full-time job, I mean, my goodness, they say you don't work a day in your life, but I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. However, you came to the table with 3 absolutely incredible suggestions. And since we talked about those on the previous recording, I'm going to run through those, and we are going to be asking you a different question today, which Leah does not want to hear. And so Leah, you're going to have to put on your big girl pants. Okay. So your sponsorship ideas, which I loved, were Big Milk, which here in this part of the world, we all know that means Organic Valley. So going to Organic Valley with a well-worded email about these milk guzzling girls sounds like a great idea. Next up was the melatonin, basically. Yeah. So you had suggested Ollie. I'm interested in finding a company that I even feel more aligned with, or a company here from Wisconsin that's doing melatonin gummies that we could work for ourselves or for our children. And last but not least, wait, what was the other one?
What was it?
King Arthur flour.
Yeah, King Arthur.
Good,
and that's
good,
a good
good.
one because Leah especially does a lot of baking. King Arthur would be amazing. And I actually do feel a lot of like brand alignment with them. I love
Absolutely.
that. So now that we've covered that, Steve, you're going to have to tell us a little something about the worst smells of your life.
So I'll do a before parent and after parent.
Absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely.
Because the parent one is very straightforward, and you probably have both experienced it.
Absolutely. It's poop.
I have an idea. I mean,
It is poop. Let's just be honest what it is. It's like when you or I'll give you a very specific example because it reared its ugly head again last night at Rockwell's in our neighborhood.
is that a restaurant?
Wait, Rockwell's over by us?
Yeah.
Oh, my dog. Okay.
It's a cool little like neighborhood spot right in Ravenswood. It's super awesome. If you know Chicago, it's right off the Brown Line, so it's super not to be confused with the poop smell, but the Brown Line.
The
Brown Line.
We have our son is potty training, and so he had an accident. But the problem is, as you all I'm sure are aware, is when you're cleaning up poop, you could wash and wash and wash your hands,
Oh, I know what to do.
and the smell doesn't go away.
It's under your fingernail.
And then
I'm sure of it.
it's somewhere. It's somewhere.
The
Mhm.
fingernail.
And then you're having dinner,
and you're
and you're just like,
Steve.
Yeah.
this shrimp po' boy is so good
Oh,
Yeah.
Steve.
with the scent of poop. But so that's a good one,
Yeah.
right? It's
It
visceral. It
lingers.
never goes.
It does
Why?
It does.
linger.
And
It does.
where is it? Like, where is it? And
Oh.
sometimes
I know,
you get a whiff of it for like
Days.
hours, at least hours,
Oh, yeah.
sometimes days.
Okay, give me the before kids, because you're that's you really illustrated it well. I don't think I'll ever have a shrimp po' boy again.
I was very sad. I was sad as I was eating it. I was like, this is just, it's not good. But okay,
wow.
the before kids, I think like one of the most visceral smells for me that always bothers me is like true like raw sewage.
Mm-hmm.
Like raw sewage in like if you have to like fix like a sewage backup. And
Ooh.
I remember we had like a sewage backup in our fraternity house in college,
Oh
and
my
it was
Oh,
it was
the worst
vile, like
possible
vile smell.
God.
And we
oh yeah, because
we had to manage it.
gas smell too, almost, right? It's like, oh yeah, that's bad.
It's bad, and
Okay.
like there that one just always sticks with me. It's just like it's just the mix of everyone.
It's very.
There you go.
Oh
I'll leave it at
God,
that.
that's nasty.
Oh.
That's
Oh,
you're leaving me with
Steve,
some.
why?
Okay, so poop based. I'll
Oh.
throw mine out there. One smell that I really absolutely can't live with, and also feel like it stays on me, is like a used dirty sponge
Oh
that
yeah.
has
Okay,
been like
okay.
around
Yeah.
for a long time.
Mhm.
And like, I don't know, I feel like some people don't smell this, because Greg is like, that doesn't bother me at all. Every time our cleaning ladies come, I think they just like, they mix the cleaning stuff or the sponges or whatever. And I have to like, the first thing I do is I go over and I pick it up like this, because I don't want to stay on my fingers, and I go smell it, and then I can, if it's bad, trash, and then I feel like it's on my fingers, like same kind of deal. Like
Yeah.
I
Mhm,
can't
mhm.
get rid of that smell. It like, I hate the smell of like an old dirty sponge. Leah, do you have anything? I know you didn't really want to discuss this topic.
I mean, there's like a lot of bad smells that come to mind. One for me would be like, imagine that you left the windows down in your car when it was raining, and then like that wet floor mat smell. That is so
Okay.
bad. And also because you're like, how am I going to deal with this? And you have to be in the car. Like if you have to go somewhere, you just have to be like in that
Like
horrible
mildew,
smell.
kind of mildewy.
Yeah, I don't know. And then one time, I think like the cat shit smell is really bad.
Cat
for
shit's
me,
really
too.
bad.
And one time, one of the cats
Yeah,
like
it's
got
not good.
stuck in the car, and then there was like cat shit in the car. For a long period of time.
Leah
That
lives
one's
on a
bad.
farm, so this is like more normal there. Okay, let's move on to personal finance. So, Steve, one question. Yesterday, when I was doing some of my very finest parenting, I said to my children, if you all can help out until lunch is ready, I'll give you $2. To which every single child said $2 is like nothing. Like, I'll pass. I was like, are you guys, you're ingrates.
Wow.
And I know. And so I was like, if you invested $2 today, you'd be a millionaire when you're 25. So, and then I was like, I think we need to fact check that. So so Steve, could you give us a little rundown? If we invested $2 today, and I understand that's like, how are you investing it, all of that, but just as an intro. And then from there, I'm going to let you take it away to talk to us about some of your suggestions about sort of personal finance, and also why you're qualified to come on the show as our financial expert.
Sure. I think like for the kids, I don't know if you're going to get to millionaire status for that $1-2 investment, but as a segue, it's a great opportunity to build good habits, right?
Mhm.
So you got to teach
Yeah.
them to say, hey, use that $2, or say like spend half of it and save the dollar, right? Like it's always fun, because I think
Mhm.
there is definitely always a balance between squirreling it away until you're on your deathbed and you're like, what did I do with all this? And I didn't do anything or have any fun or enjoy the fruits of your labor,
Yeah.
versus just spending it all and not having anything at the end. And like I understand both sides of it, especially like I've had buddies that are like, I want to teach skiing my entire life and I don't care about my retirement, and then maybe I'll fall off the mountain one day and that'll be the end, but I had a great life up until then. So that's kind of like my thought on that. But it's the use it for both things. That's my advice.
Yeah.
What
But
was your first investment? How old were you?
I would say I was 16, which I feel now is like archaic given like the internet and what we hear about like kids doing and like all this stuff now. But like I was 16 and my dad loved to do like stock picking himself. And so we started just like taking like extra money I had from like bussing tables or doing like I worked at a local takeout place in Manchester, doing selling chicken tenders and stuff. And so we would take like the extra money and put it in like an investment account and like pick some good stocks back then. And like it's nice to say this now, but it's like, you know, like buy a little bit of Apple, buy a little bit of like these like companies that he always loved to look at companies that they're good companies. And I also believe in like investing in companies that you like use their products every day. Like I think that's like the old adage, like people are like that's very like Warren Buffett-y, right? Where he's like, I invest in Coca-Cola and I sit and have a Coke every time I'm at an investor meeting, as like a good major investor does. But it's that's kind of like a good fundamental place to start. Like pick things that you use every day, especially now. Like we all have
things you're familiar with. You know, you kind of understand the product.
I think that's a good way to do it. It's the best way to invest if you're not going to just pick, you know, broad funds like everyone talks about is invest in something that you know well and you understand. Like people like or also say like, you know, Procter and Gamble, like no one knows like that name as an example, but it's consumer staples. So like your sponges we talked about like your paper towels, your cleaning supplies, all that stuff. They're not going to go away anytime soon. Like everyone's like, oh, what if I lose all my money? I don't think Procter and Gamble is going away anytime soon, and you use their products all the time. So that's a nice, like, simple.
Yeah, we're gonna back up on you a little bit too, which is that so you and your wife both working up until a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And then you decided, you know, I would like to make a little more space in my life, I think, and I don't want to speak for you, but, you know, Christina's going to focus some on her career and you are going to, I think the idea was, contribute to your family through being more involved in your own personal portfolio. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think that's very fair. So my background is, I'm a chemical engineer by schooling, never done it.
Really?
And it was like one of the, so it's one of those things where I've always been an engineer at heart, but I've always liked to do the investing stuff on the side just because it was interesting. So, and I was in media and tech back in, like, as you said, back in like 2024. So I left that role mostly because I wanted to figure out what I wanted to do next. And also the pandemic, which I think it did for a lot of people, helped reorganize your priorities in your life. Right? You want to spend more time with your family. You love the ritual of like picking up and dropping off the kids at school. And you're not going to sacrifice that to go back to a corporate office, especially if you're at a company that's not going to be flexible. And I think that's a big thing for a lot of people. And it was definitely a major driver for me. And so I switched into something to say, well, let's take a break. So I took a 6-month break. We could afford to do that. Is definitely something I wanted to say, like, what do I want to do? And I thought, hey, what if I could replace the salary? And I think we talked about this on Tuesday when we, you know, attempt number 1. But the idea was, if I could replace my salary and then make it bigger, is it something I can consistently do? And maybe I can avoid having, you know, a formal W-2. At least it's something that's not completely on my terms.
How much time are you spending on this on a daily basis?
As of right now, maybe like 1 to 2 hours a day. Mostly looking at existing positions, if I want to even open new positions, and making sure that everything is going the direction I want. And a lot of that time now too is less about the actual investing side. I'm doing a lot of educational focus on AI tools like in Gemini. I've been trying to build out my own analytics tools that I can use myself.
Cool.
So like things that I want to make repeatable and easier to use for myself. And but like, so from an investing perspective though, when I first started this, it was all iterative. I started this idea like I wanted to, and it's a dumb idea, but so not everyone should do this, but I was like, I want to get cash yield off of Bitcoin. That was how I started doing this. And I rapidly pivoted into, that's hyper risky, which I knew to going into. How do I create something that's like a sustainable income portfolio for myself? And that's how I ended up kind of pivoting it into my today. So I won't go into like the details of what it is. I know I can share like, if people are interested in like a spreadsheet or whatever, just to look at, by all means, I
Well,
can
I think
give
one
you
thing that
guys
would
something,
be
but
interesting is, so obviously it's easier to go and replace a salary or make money off of a bigger number, like you're investing using a bigger number. But for people who are just wanting to get into this and just starting, obviously we kind of want to assume, and we talked about this before, and I'd like you to go over those again, sort of the three sort of main pinnacles of like personal finance. But then I'd also love to talk, like I personally started using a Charles Schwab account a couple of years ago just to do a little bit of to start to understand what some of that investment process would look like. And same thing, I'm like, oh, you know what, I want to buy a little BYD, so now I can do so, and I can sort of automatically fund that monthly with a small amount. And like the idea is I'm just kind of starting to understand it. Most of it, 80% of that for me is in a long-term S&P 500 account. And then 20% I can kind of play around with like different specific stocks. But can you talk about like, do you recommend Schwab? Would you suggest a different company? I know a lot of people get into like things like Robinhood. Tell us about where you would suggest people just familiarizing themselves with this.
Well, I'll start with the first three. Before you start diving into brokerages and investment platforms and all that different stuff, I think those three kind of cornerstone things for someone to really understand is understand your budget. So what's coming in and what's going out. That's like core important thing from like just managing your own finances, whether you're a single person or a home with 7 kids, right? It's all fundamental. You need to understand what's happening there. The second thing would be, once you get to that point, is there excess that you can save? And then the third thing would be manage and consolidate the debt. So I'll start with the first piece. Budgeting, I think for people is scary because either they feel like everything's kind of out of control and it's just like all over the place. And whenever you're looking at this to start, it's a matter of like sitting down, taking out a spreadsheet and say, where does money come from? Where does it come in to our house? And then where does it go? And just understanding like what those expenses look like. And a big thing too for people, I think, is understanding what is fixed and what is variable, right? Like what has to happen every month, what is variable every month. And then once you get that kind of baseline, you're like, okay, cool. What's actually happening? Am I in the hole, right? Am I in the red every month? Am I spending more than I'm taking in, which can be the case for people. And hopefully you have a surplus, right? So hopefully you have extra. And so once you understand those things, you can start to say, all right, do I want to work backwards at fixing the budget to say, where can I cut? Where can I manage? Because at the end of the day, you always want to be in the black, meaning you have net surplus of the month. That second piece is the savings piece. Mm-hmm. So I think for a lot of people, everyone's like, well, what is savings in general? Like, what do you do with it? For me, I've always said, well, let's make it goal-oriented, right? So it's easier and more attainable for yourself. So for an emergency fund or a savings account or whatever you want to call it, look at your expenses. Say, hey, for 6 months, these are my total expenses. These are like my must-haves, like your mortgage, your groceries. And maybe you want to start, like maybe you say, hey, I want to make sure I can do takeout once a week or whatever the case is. That's what helps you start building out, hey, what does this number look like? And that way, you build towards that and say, this is how much money that would just sit there and never be touched for anything else unless it's an emergency. That's exactly why it's called an emergency fund. And that can be for other things too. It can be for house expenses. It can be for medical expenses. It could be for anything. Once you get to that place, that's when you can start talking about brokerages and things like that. But before we go there, I'll touch on the kind of credit card management, debt management stuff. I think for a lot of people, the two major sources of debt now, besides, and I don't always count mortgage as debt because it's kind of like, it's a house, it's where you live, it's like a fixed expense, and it doesn't always change unless you have the opportunity to refinance.
It's more like a utility or something, right? Kind of in that.
Utilities.
Yeah.
It's all different things that you can start adjusting once you get a feel for the budget, but they're all, relative fixed costs. And it's also like the way you want to spend. Like if you like the thermostat at 80 degrees during the winter, God bless you. Have fun with that. But like that's not, and it's a choice you've made. But for debt management, I think we kind of talked about it, but the simplest way to do it is take it all, lump it up, understand what your highest interest rates are, because those are the most expensive sources of debt for you. And then see what you can prioritize to pay off. And then I think we talked about student loans specifically. It's all about consolidation, right? Can you get lower rates by going to a different place like a SoFi, as an example, and bring down your overall costs, just help you pay things over time and make it manageable. Yeah.
Yeah, you were muted there.
Was I muted?
Yeah.
Sorry.
You were muted, but you're back.
No, that's all. I think that's all good. I mean, I do think a few specific like product items are helpful for people. So SoFi is one I think that's helpful to think about for student loan consolidation. A lot of people have student loans. We had also talked a little bit about Wealthfront personally. I really enjoy Wealthfront. That's sort of like a slightly higher yield savings account, long-term savings account, but it's going to give you a little bit better than like your Chase savings, let's say. I think you're at 1% typically there. And Wealthfront, by the way, anybody need a promo code? I'm sure Steve or I could share, or not a promo code, but like an invite link.
Referral codes.
Yeah, because I think ours
Wheel
right
and
now,
deal.
I think we're at like 3.5. Does that sound right to you, Steve? Is where Wealthfront is, and that's a really nice product because you can immediately transfer in and out. So as opposed to a more longer term savings account, or I guess I'm not using the right. Can you explain?
No, I think you're describing it perfectly. And something that's really interesting is you guys just jogged my memory. I was at, I think, Goddess and the Grocer on Damon one day. I don't know why I
love
remember
that place.
Great place,
Very
great spot.
expensive, very good.
Grabbing lunch, and I was sitting on their balcony, and I overheard these two women talking about high yield savings, and they were trying to figure out like what account to open. And I didn't say anything because I didn't want to be a creeper eavesdropping. But so there's a purpose to this. I think it's really interesting that even now, where we have so much information, there's so many different choices for people to take. And so I think what it boils down to is what you guys are doing here, talking about all sorts of stuff as two women doing whatever, like a very, like, let's call it broad form podcast.
Yeah.
It's important because even little tidbits like this, you could be talking about your upbringing, and then someone randomly talks about a high yield savings account, and for some reason it sticks into someone's brain. It helps them, right?
Yeah.
Like that's really important.
Yeah.
And it's so something like a Wealthfront, which offers everything, right? They offer high yield savings accounts, they offer brokerage services, they offer cash accounts, the same type of thing. They offer goal-based savings, so it's a visual, gamified process for you. The easier it is for someone to do it, I think they'll be more willing to stick to it. And then the other thing that I think is interesting too is you mentioned how you just like buy a little BYD every month and it goes. Make it invisible. Make it one of those non-fungible costs once you have those budget items, and make it disappear from your account, because
Say more about that.
then it's not money you can spend.
So that's what you're saying, like have an automatic transfer set up into your Wealthfront account or into your Schwab account, so that, this is something I think we can really encourage people to do, whether it's just for savings or whatever. But having that, for me, that was like one of the biggest things that helped me start a savings account and build a savings account, was having an automatic transfer come out of my checking account the same day that I got paid. And that's not true for everybody, because not everyone receives a paycheck every 2 weeks. But maybe you say, in the middle of the month or whenever you're feeling the flushest, $200 or $1,000 or $20 disappears from your account, and it happens every month and it's automatic. At some point, you don't feel it anymore because it feels like a fixed expense. It feels like the same thing as paying your utility bill every month. But being able to count on that, that'll add up pretty quickly too. So I do like those automatic transfers, whether it's into a savings account or into a brokerage account. All right, we got to kind of wrap up here pretty quickly. But I think that was most of what we wanted to discuss with you, Steve. Oh, I just wanted to share one other thing. Leah had mentioned, right after we got off the line with you, she said, I liked him. He didn't seem like a finance guy.
That's good. I'm hoping not to come off as like a giant, like Wall Street asshole.
No, I think, I think it works.
At all.
I mean,
You
it is
really
true.
don't,
There are so
yeah.
many annoying finance guys out there, and you are not one of them.
Did you want to ask Steve this last question that we have on here? Or do we not have time for that? It's a really interesting question.
Absolutely. So this
I think
came up because I was at Leah's house yesterday, and her kids told me, we can't watch any more TV until we can learn to read. no more movies until we can learn to read. And I would just like to say there's been a lot. Like there's been, I think last summer, Leah, was summer of no TV. Leah does a lot of these sort of like black and white. It's not happening. But I would love to hear, how does your family handle screen time?
So I think we've pivoted a few times, right? And so we have now turned, let's say the kids have pretty minimal screen time now, even like on an educational front, which is good. And I think part of that is I am now like of this aging millennial generation that feels like social media is the devil. And as I'm on a podcast and I follow you guys on Instagram, but the point is
social media. This is something else.
I know.
Okay.
This is radio. This is the second coming of radio, right? That's what this is.
Third wave
And so,
radio.
Exactly. And so I think that screen time specifically, we've turned it into kind of an event. So movies especially, we'll do like a movie event on the weekends where like we'll make the kids a snack, we'll do popcorn. It's like they can pick a single movie, and if it's raining, maybe we'll do a couple, whatever, and we'll do that. And that is how kind of like we'll integrate screen time into the weekend, which is good. And it's something that's fun. It holds their attention. It's something that they pick, right? They really gonna get to own it.
I have one
During
question
the
about
week-
that. Hold on. About
Yeah,
the
yeah.
weekend movie. Do you sit down and watch the movie with them, or do you use that time to do other things that it's difficult to do with children?
I would say it depends because one, for us specifically, I get a lot of stuff done during the week because I have flexibility. So that's not always a fair comparison.
Yeah.
But oftentimes if like they're watching a movie, say upstairs in the living room, and it's right off of the kitchen, so I can like do like cook or some random thing, I might do that. Because I can kind of hear it with them and I can participate a little bit. But oftentimes we'll make it more of like sit down, sit together and watch it together and try to make it. That way it's also like kind of like family time, and the kids are getting to the point where like they think things are funny and
It's
like they're
more
actually
quality
engaging with the
time.
movie.
Yeah, and like you can
Exactly.
share those jokes later. So that
Yep.
would be like you kind of are doing nothing during the weekdays.
Trying to do nothing during the weekdays. We have done a thing now where on Tuesday, Wednesdays, I take the kids to swimming.
Yeah.
Each kid has their own separate time. And that day, when they come home, because we'll pick them up from school early, and they can pick what they would like to do.
Uh-huh.
And that freedom has given them, sometimes they want to go bike outside. Sometimes they want to watch like a couple episodes of Bluey.
Okay.
So it's kind of like giving them more choice too, because like that's always a
Yeah.
struggle. And I'm sure you guys run into it too, where it's like, I mean, especially with my oldest daughter, she wants to do everything herself.
Yeah.
Because I think she's exerting that independence and that desire to just like, this, I can do it all. And that's fine. And that's good. So giving them those opportunities to exert that, I think is good.
And then do you find that like having this kind of system, like, because I don't actually care, like if the kids want to watch, we pretty much do like PBS Kids at Home, which I'm like, fine, it's all good programming. But what I hate is the negotiation. Hey, can we watch TV? I don't want to watch TV. It's like actually watching the show is like not the issue. It's it's that. So, I mean, have you found that as you've kind of transitioned away from having it on the table, let's say, or part of the buffet, like is there a lot of questioning, asking for, or is that lessened?
As they've gotten older, there's less. I think Nico, who's almost 4, he will ask for it more, but he doesn't push. So like he'll like kind of like float the idea, and they're like, "No, we're gonna go outside," and he's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
And like he just kind of drops it.
Yeah.
Cleo doesn't ask for it that much.
Interesting.
Like there are certain times like when she wants to do it, but it's also because I think it's because we have put it on like the table for like certain opportunities or days. They kind of get that, or it's like we'll talk about doing a movie event during the week, so they kind of like get excited about it.
Anticipate.
So they don't ask. Yep, they know it's gonna come, so they're like, "Oh, whatever."
Well,
It's not a big deal.
yeah, that makes sense. And I'm looking forward to seeing Leah's children, the youngest ever readers, joining us this summer and watching all the TV they want.
Hey, that's fine. Like it's tough because we have been fortunate enough where like the kids are they've been naturally inquisitive in like letters and spelling and that type of thing. So we have been very we've been blessed with that, so we
No
don't
kidding.
have to worry
Well,
about it
my
as much.
children can basically read, but I'm looking for a higher level. You know, it's also
You're
She's
just-
she's goalpost
You're just
moving.
being demanding, which
She's
is good.
goalpost moving.
I think also like
That's
it's
okay.
just this idea too of kind of like replacing the impulse with TV for reading. Right. So if your kids are saying like, I want to watch TV, just saying like, you know what, let's use that time to read instead. You know,
Yeah,
that's kind
true.
of what it is for me.
Or just explore other things. It was actually really cute. Last night I went up into like that same room where I'd been like literally just laying in a pool of my own sweat and regret. And and the kids had like put all the podcast stuff out last night, Leah. And I was like, hey, who is doing this? And they were like, we wanted to make a show. And I was remembering that I still have some of these old tapes. So we used to use a tape and
Player.
record onto it, and we would make radio shows.
Yeah.
Definitely still have some of those. They are not fit for public consumption because there was a lot of really inappropriate, like stereotyping, accenting that will just not be seeing the airwaves. But
Accents that need to be retired. That's fine.
big
That's okay.
time. So
What, really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So those are not coming out, but it was really fun to do as a kid. And it's definitely been something that we've enjoyed for a long time. I think there is something really special about like, moving away from the visual, just taking in the input and like created an input and output loop. I wish I understood those better. See previous statements. But hey, we are out of time, Steve. We could talk to you all day. But I just wanted to give you any last thoughts or words that you'd like to share.
I just say thank you guys for having me. This has been great. Keep doing it.
Thank you.
I'm telling you, like as your unofficial P1, just keep going.
You are the
It keeps it
P1.
fun.
You are the P1. The other thing with you is you did come up with the name. We were sitting at said swimming class, and I was like, "What about Spicy Wisconsin?" Or I think maybe even you recommended it, and I was like, "I don't know. I don't think that's right." You're like, "It has a good. It's got legs," and I think you were right.
It's all about just have fun with it. Don't overthink it. Right. That's the key. But no, it was super fun. Thanks for having me. I hope I come back in the future whenever the next segment of episodes is released.
Absolutely. So. Thank you, Steve. Okay, there he goes, and we will hopefully have him on
Thanks
again
so much,
sometime
Steve.
soon. Thank you, Steve.
Bitch better have my money.
All right, girl, we are back. So we are going to finish up here with a continuation of our show sheet. So let's talk about
How are you feeling, by the way? Are you feeling like on today, or are you feeling a little off?
I'm feeling a little off today. I mean, we discussed this, like both of us were crushed today.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of unclear why.
Yeah, I mean, we shared a bottle of wine last night, so that is partially maybe what happened. And also there's like a little bit of just
And I
general
took that
tiredness. You took that edible.
And then also
This morning
the
or last
smoke
night?
Last night. And there's like smoke. There's like smoke here.
I think another thing too that we should just acknowledge is that we are doing a redo of a show. So some of this content is not fresh for us. So it's like sometimes it's feeling a little harder to like bring the excitement and energy.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. Okay. So it has been a little while since we recorded, and it's been an extra little while because of our technical snafus, but it's been like 2 or 3 weeks, and it's just, let's do a little catch up here.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Stop playing that.
It has been a while though. So
It really
over the
has.
last couple of weeks, I took an amazing trip out west with my family,
Mm-hmm.
and we did some visit to Yellowstone. We went to Montana. We did some really cool stuff. I really enjoyed exploring the American West.
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
Did you want me to ask you some follow-up questions about your trip to the American West? Like, is that the first time you've been out there?
You can ask the other one.
Okay. Your children mentioned that you threw up during your trip there. Could you want to
Oh my
elaborate on
God.
that?
I should have told this one while Steve was on. It involves the P word again. Okay, yes, I did. Here's what happened. Okay, this isn't going to paint me in the best light, but I need to give you some new information to keep things spicy and keep things moving. Okay.
Okay, great.
So here's what happened. All right. Our last night on our trip, we were in Bozeman, Montana. Beautiful little city. I was vibing. I was feeling it. Now, keep in mind, we'd been in Wyoming. Wyoming is a red state. Wyoming says no marijuana here, okay?
Oh,
of
interesting.
any
Okay.
variety, of whatever because by the way, weed's just like legal everywhere. Like I texted a
Yeah.
friend recently here in Springdale. I was like, hey, do you know where I could buy some drugs? And he texted me back like, never text that. Number one. He was like, never text that. And then he was also like, there's a store by Dr. Vodak's office. Like, go buy some weed. And I was like, number one, I was like, if I had known that was an option, why would I be trying to buy it on the black market? Like, I didn't know.
Right.
And so
but it's not really weed. It's not like, it's THCA.
What is
it?
that? But that's like a farm product.
Did it achieve the desired effect?
Absolutely. But I have come to reconsider that slightly. Okay, so here in Wisconsin, I can, smoke my weed from the Spring Green TCA, what are you calling it? THCA, whatever. So all good. I felt that I was experiencing the effects. Okay, so we go to Wyoming and we're there for like a week, and I was putting my body through a grueling race. I did another race. I only had one tiny poo on the trail. Tiny. I was mostly just in absolute hell because the race was at 8,000 feet. The elevation was awful.
Yeah.
I didn't feel well at all. It was terrible. But fine. Not drinking a ton either, kind of whatever. Yeah. Then we get to Bozeman. The last night we're there. The moment that we pulled into Montana, I was like, Greg,
let's get some
weed. I was like, let me go get a rollie. Okay. So we roll in there. It was incredible. I had, smoked a little weed, went to Yellowstone, saw a bear. I mean, like, come on. Okay.
Yeah.
And also, it's interesting because, so we were talking about our family and like our family's relationship to drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
And so I've always felt like this sense of like, oh my gosh, I'm doing something kind of bad. I shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
My husband is like, he's like saying, because he was like, do you guys know what mom's doing? Like, it's like having a drink. It's like something that adults do. It's like caffeine. Like, he is like, it's legal. It's like, there's no issue here.
Right.
And so I appreciate that, whatever. So
that's another thing we can talk about. Let's put a pin in that, like how to handle conversations about drugs and
alcohol.
Good,
except then when we got on the plane and they were like, it's permitted to smoke. And Charlie's like, oh, you have those. I was like, oh my God, I don't actually have them right now. Okay. So anyway, I had received the real marijuana or whatever, not the farm marijuana in Montana. It's fully legal.
Why are you calling it the farm marijuana?
Because it's like a farm bill thing. It was like a farm bill. Okay, the farm marijuana. So I'm like, I smoked some of that weed during the day. I felt fine. No issue. Like, I've smoked plenty of weed in my life. Okay.
Yeah.
So I smoked some weed. I'm like, fine. Okay. No issue. Then, feeling good, went to the gym, met the boys for dinner. Here, the problems may have started here. I'll have a martini. Okay. Never seems to end well. In fact, really a lot of problems with the martini being the start of the meal. Then Greg and I split a bottle of wine at dinner.
Okay.
And that's still like,
that's reasonable.
Normal.
That's
like,
reasonable.
I'm a little drunk, but fine. Okay.
You're at like 3.5
I'm
drinks.
feeling good,
4.
but like the end of the night has come. We go get ice cream. Great. It's Greg's turn to put the kids to bed. He's at the hotel. They're watching a movie. They're hanging out. I'm like, it's a gorgeous evening.
Yeah.
I'm going to go finish this joint. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
When I got back, I'm not sure how I got back into the building. Okay. I wasn't even like that much weed, but I could tell something. I like going back through like the pictures that I was taking my phone. I was like, do I even remember taking? Like, I don't even know when it shifted, but something shifted.
Happened. Yeah.
I got back to the hotel. I was like, Greg, I'm not okay. Immediately laying down next to the toilet. Okay. Immediately.
Can you describe like what the feeling was like in your
Greg
body
said I
at
was
this time?
Well, so nauseous. I mean, so nauseous. Unbelievably nauseous. Like, okay, so, but not puking yet. You know that feeling? You're like, I want to so badly. I turned the shower on immediately.
Spins? Would you describe it as like the
No,
spin?
it was like vertigo, but I never had that. I just didn't know what was up from down. Okay. So first I turned the shower on. The shower is now going for about 15, 20 minutes. Greg is laughing at me. He's coming in and saying, you're doing a Gretchen because of that one story. Okay, so that story. He's like, you're laughing at me. it's all fun and games. The kids are just like bouncing off
of us. Are you in the shower? I am position.
I couldn't even get in the shower. I couldn't get my clothes off. So I'm like, I tried to take my clothes off because I was wearing like a cute outfit. I took my clothes, I put them next to me.
Okay.
And then I'm just naked. I'm just naked in there on a pile of towels. I'm like, can you cover me up? It's just so embarrassing. So then the things in the hotel room, which are like, I can hear everything. The door's wide open. It's like starting to go to shit in there. Okay. Like I'm hearing like the kids are like bouncing, jumping, like, and then Greg is starting to be like,
And you're
guys,
like,
calm
I can't
down.
do anything.
Oh,
could not do
no
anything.
chance. All I could maybe do would be like, guys, listen to dad, from the bathroom floor. Still no puking is happening. Greg comes in to go pee. Like literally he's like standing over me, and the thought and smell of him peeing, I was like, get out. I was like, it was beginning to retch.
Also
he leaves. He doesn't get to pee. I'm like, you can't pee in here right now. You can't. So then I hear, oh my God, Edward, or something like, oh my God, Edward. And then he's like, you pooped or something.
Oh my God.
But apparently they'd been playing so much, he'd had his legs over his head. He was laughing and he like popped a turd out somehow.
Oh
okay, God. But small turd. So then Edward is like climbing over me to get into the shower. Then Greg is like, the poop's in the grout. And this is all happening. I'm just laying there. I'm just like,
you're just like,
everyone is in the bathroom. And I'm so ill. Greg is just at some point like, I'm leaving. Okay, he leaves. He
the
just
hotel room?
leaves the room. Which I was also like, fine. Everyone's safe.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
I'm then to the kids. I'm like, can you guys bring me some water? It's like so embarrassing. Also, this is like our last family night. Finally, the puking starts. 3 rounds of puking. I'm still just like comatose.
Did you feel any relief after the vomiting?
No, dude, what was crazy is like I literally couldn't tell up from down. Like I couldn't stand. Like that's what I'm saying, vertigo. Yeah. So then I told Greg, I was like, this is actually elevation sickness. Like I don't have.
Okay.
And which, Greg was like, it's not elevation sickness. We've been here for an entire week.
Right.
And there was no issue. And actually we've come down in elevation.
And like this wouldn't kick in now.
Yeah. And then I told him that I thought it was motion sickness, to which he said the only motion was this, which was like he was making fun of me, like drinking and smoking. So it was terrible. I managed to get into the bed at some point. Greg went to like 3 bars and was out
that night.
Yeah, he like came back at some point. Everyone was asleep like hours later. So it was like really bad, embarrassing, painful situation. I haven't thrown up from like, I think
drinking.
It's just, it wasn't just the drinking. That amount of alcohol would never make me throw up. It's
No,
the combination of the smoking on top of. So it was very bad.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have been there. There's like a certain level of drunk you are that then you put weed on top of that, and it is like.
What about cigarettes? Would they do it for you too?
They might make me feel sick. Yeah. Like nauseous. Is there something on my nose? Gross.
Yeah.
Snot.
No, yeah. It's something about like smoking. I remember when I was at your birthday party when you turned 30 a couple years ago, we smoked a spliff outside afterwards. And I hadn't even been drinking that much, but on the way home I was like, oh, I don't feel good. I didn't throw up or anything, but I just had that nauseous-y feeling.
Yeah.
Anyway, that I just wanted to share that with you because I felt that you hadn't heard that story yet. Yeah. Okay. We are moving on now. We just have a pretty maybe 10-15 minutes left to go here because we're trying to keep the recording a little shorter,
under an hour for sure.
So do you want to do news you can use or four-dimensional charades?
Well, are we going to do the same 4-dimensional charades that we did before?
No, let's do a different one.
Okay. How are we going to do it?
Okay, so the other day I was like, Leah, guess what I've been watching? It's so good.
We did this on the air.
Yeah, I'm gonna
and also
drop.
Just by the way, we did introduce this by saying that like we are really good at games where you have to guess what the other person is thinking or doing, right? So like if you've ever played that game Celebrity, we're really good at that one. If you ever played charades. And Moriah claimed on the air that we could do anything, that we could compete in worldwide charades competitions.
I think we should. So I'm going to use Claude right now. Okay. And I'm going to use Claude to suggest 3 random celebrities.
That's to me bad. I mean,
and then I'm going to give them to you in charade style. And we have a timer here. Okay. And should we give 2 minutes or 1 minute
for all of them?
No, one each one.
I think 3 minutes for the whole thing.
Okay.
Well, let's give ourselves 5 minutes, and then we can.
No, that's way too long.
Well, then we can just say how long we'd got them.
No. I want the buzzer to be going down. I think it's 3 minutes for all.
I'm feeling like a little bit. I'm feeling nervous on this
You're
because
really
I'm feeling like, what if I can't get these? And now we've like hyped up our mental connection.
Fine. I can't even use Claude, so.
Okay, so we're gonna do this. Okay, but let's just say that she just like played maybe like 3 seconds of some audio of a show that she'd been listening to.
Ambient sound, almost.
Ambient sound. Like it was like birds. It was like the wind in the grass. And I guessed immediately that she had been watching Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah, and that was correct. Okay.
And it was correct.
Oh, shoot. Let's do this. And then we have to go to our listener submissions because we have some amazing listener submissions.
Yes.
And then we're going to probably call it for the week. We'll have to use the news we can use next week.
Yeah. And are we going to do our book club review at the end, or are we going to skip
Oh my
that?
God, this is
Let's
so
push
hard.
that.
Okay. Oh, these are actually pretty easy. Okay. All right. Number 1. Okay. Get the timer going. We're going to do, hold on. I got to see here.
I'm trying not to look.
Oh God. One of them is actually really hard. Okay. Number 1, she is an actor. She was just in a movie about like people who abducted her. She is a redhead. She also played Cruella de Vil in the new remake. She starred with Ryan Gosling.
Glenn Close.
Nope, much younger. Red hair,
Amy
huge
Adams?
eyes. Nope, but in that same vein, she was in that movie, like not Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but something with like Ryan Gosling where they do some dancing.
Yeah.
Okay, her last name is also something
it's
we
not
would
Margot
use
Robbie.
rock. Something with a rock, a synonym for rock is her last name.
Stone?
Correct.
Emma Stone.
Correct. Boom.
Thank you.
Number 2. Okay, this one's really hard for me. He is a black man. I don't know how to pronounce his name or anything like that, but let's just, nothing has stopped me before. Okay.
What?
His name is 2 words. The first word sounds kind of like a flower that
Okay.
is purple and comes up right around your birthday.
A lilac. Iris?
Yes.
Iris.
So his name sounds kind of like that. It starts
Okay.
with the same letter.
Isis.
No, he's I can't think of anything he's been in.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, this one may crush us, Leah, but keep going.
All right.
Okay, the second name, his last name, it's a region in Italy that wine comes from and also truffles come from.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
God. I'm
you
not
got
gonna
it.
get this. No, I'm not going to get that.
You are. It's the shorter version of it. Also, a female actor, Jessica. Last name Jessica. She's tall. She doesn't act
is
as much
really
anymore.
bad.
Keep going.
Okay.
Give me some
what
more.
are the regions in Italy? I can't even think
Okay,
of
that's
this.
fine.
Like,
Moving on from that.
Okay.
Actress.
Uh-huh.
Jessica's her first name. Last name. Starts with, I can't say what
This
that.
is so bad. We're doing
No,
so
keep
bad.
going. We still have 3 minutes to go. She is Jessica. I can't think of anything that she was in.
This is going to be great.
Okay.
All right, think of something else. One more.
Let's move on from this one. It was Idris Elba.
Oh, I could have gotten that. Damn
What was
it.
he in?
I don't think Idris Elba is. He's like a basketball player.
No, he's not a
Yes, he
basketball.
is.
No, dude, he is an
He's
actor.
like-
no, he's not. And the last one should be very easy for you. She is a one name. What do you call that when there's people have one name? A monosyllabic? No. She's an actor.
Oh, and DJ. Oh, I know. Yeah, darn, I know who that is.
He's really hot.
Yeah, looks good.
Okay, so she.
Elba.
Come on, let's
Alba.
get through
Sorry,
this.
all right,
Okay.
go ahead.
She is a one name actor, and she played.
Cher.
Nope.
Madonna.
Good. Keep going. Actor. She played Ro in the movie, the film, the series about young women. Sydney Sweeney was in it. So was Eldorado. She's the drug addict.
Oh.
One name.
God, this is what is wrong with me? I'm having like a hard time thinking today, but I do know who that is.
Keep going. Come on, dude. You got 2 minutes.
I really
Go.
am doing so bad
Go.
on this.
Leia.
Oh my God.
Okay, same letter that
can't think.
when you're feeling extremely calm, you are feeling
Relax.
another word for that. Related
Peaceful.
more to yoga,
Calm.
shorter.
Chill. Zendaya.
There.
Zendaya.
Thank you. All right, now you do the same thing for me because that was like pretty,
That was pretty bad.
that was pretty weak.
bad.
I'm not gonna
Okay.
lie, that was pretty
It's
weak.
just gonna be. Are we doing actors?
No, it's just 3 random celebrities.
Okay.
I'm not looking.
Okay, but they were all that.
That's just what Father Claude came up
Okay.
with today. Okay.
All right, I'm looking up.
Okay, I'm not
3
looking.
random celebrities. That was pretty bad.
Yeah,
That we did.
sucked ass on
Yeah.
that. I don't know what it's Alba. Alba. It's a region.
Idris Elba. Yeah.
Alba. Italy.
Okay.
Truffles.
Oh, Alba.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
Okay.
that. I wouldn't have known that. That would not have come up for me.
Well, that's why I was trying to say Jessica Alba.
Oh my God, one of mine is the same. Zendaya came up for us too. Okay.
Damn.
This is
All right,
like
hold on.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay.
All
Ready?
right.
Go.
All right, this is like an
can't see you.
extremely hot actor, short in a movie. He got
Cillian Murphy.
No, he got
Oh.
surgery on his legs to make them longer.
Oh my
And
God.
then
What is his
next
name
to-
though? You're gonna have to tell me.
You know who it is.
the one who was in
Yeah.
that movie who actually got the surgery in the movie though.
Yeah,
He
in the
didn't
movie.
actually
She
get
didn't
it.
really get a surgery.
Oh, I do know who it is. What is
he
it?
has like sort of a Latino sounding name.
Oh.
And And his last name is the name of a chain of Mexican restaurants that are in Madison. No, not Bell.
Panchero.
Okay. His first and last name both start with the same letter, which is the same letter as if you were going to a celebration.
Fiesta.
No. Let's say you're going. Yeah, that's the one. So two
Pedro
P's.
Pascal.
Good. Very good. Okay.
Keep going. That was pretty slow. But keep going.
Okay. This is one of Mom's favorite actors. She finds him to be very attractive. He was in The Matrix. He was the star of The Matrix.
Oh my God.
He was like a 90s.
Keanu Reeves.
Very good.
She likes Keanu Reeves.
She
Okay.
thinks he's like very hot. I need one more because my other one was Zendaya, which don't you think that's weird
Yeah.
that we both got the same
But
one?
I would just like to say I've gone 1 minute
Do you think
and I've
that
gotten
Claude's
2 so
second in
far.
all of them? Oh, you don't know who this is.
Just try. You have to try. You just have to go. What do you
Okay.
mean you don't know?
Okay. Blank and the Machine.
Florence.
Okay, that's her first name.
Hug.
Yes.
I did. But isn't it Pew?
It's like P.
Can you look up how to pronounce her name?
P-U-G-H.
How do you pronounce her name?
Well, I was going to say Pug too, so I think that's probably right.
Florence Pug pronunciation.
Yeah. That was really good. I did really bad.
Oh, I think it's Pooh.
You did really good.
Florence Pugh.
Pew.
Florence Pugh.
Florence Pugh.
We were wrong on that one.
Florence Pugh.
Ouch.
Great. Okay. Well, that was awesome. That was basically all we've done here.
Yeah.
Do you want to quickly do the? Oh no, not even quickly. We need to get into listener submissions. We've had so much fun with those.
Yes.
Keep them coming, guys. Spicy in Wisconsin is the email address while Leah gets this ready. We are working on a Google Voice number. I asked Leah 7 times to secure the number.
I think we have it. We have a Google Voice number now.
But we'd love to
wanted
hear
something specific, like something nice that we could say out loud.
Spicy-
like spicy girl.
Spicy in.
What was the one we
Spicy
came up with?
Wisconsin.
Spicers.
Okay. Spicers would be
whatever.
good. So go ahead, Leah.
Okay, so we did receive a couple of emails. This one, the title of it is Hello from Dublin, which means we have an international listener.
Yes, and actually, just quickly across the way, matey, we've got my friends Kate and Will in the Yorkshire Dales listening in as well. Thank you guys so much for giving us the time. And now we apparently have yet another listener from what we would call the UK.
Yeah, the United Kingdom.
Yeah, I think that's right.
We're so grateful for all of our listeners, to be honest with you. Thank you guys so
All 8
much
of you.
for being here. Yeah. This says, hello. I just thought I would send a quick email to say that you have a listener in Ireland. I have just walked home through the streets of Dublin listening to you, and I followed you both on Insta for a while. To be honest, I'm not sure how I came across you both, but I find you funny, refreshing, and have good taste. I both like hearing and seeing your outlook on life. I'm 41 years old. I grew up on a farm in Cork and now live in Dublin, and I work in healthcare. Just some thoughts on the podcast. My favorite part was when you discussed the book, which led to tangents about sex, etc. Spicy. It felt like some kind of conversation, like the kind of conversation I would have with friends. You spoke about wanting it to be real and have a raw dog approach, which it does, and leads it to be a fun and engaging listen. Overall, as someone who does not know you and don't know some of the local references you mentioned, I love listening and will continue to do so. I would also love a bit of background on you both, just to give a bit of context for your international listeners. Have a wonderful summer, Mary.
Thank you, Mary. It's just warms the cockles of my heart to hear from you.
Mary. We should not do that.
We've had a lot of bit of time to practice
just
last couple of
love
days
to-
on it. And also, I just want to say we're going to be after looking for a bit of a wee sojourn here in the future. And I'd love to come visit you in the Green Gables there of Ireland. So thank you,
Also,
Mary.
another option would be Prince Edward Island to do like a little deep dive on Anne of Green Gables.
Don't think we've got any listeners there, though, do we?
Don't think so.
All right. Oh, God. This is what like Steve was talking about, the accents that need to be retired.
Yeah, we've
Here I
done
go
it
again.
You're done again. We got another email. Actually two from, time's up.
Time's up.
Time's up. From one of our listeners. I don't think we need to read all of this on the air. Some of it is like a little... Okay, basically what this email is saying is what a lot of people are saying, which is that they'd like to hear more about like our relationship, our personal dynamics, our family dynamics, where we came from, what the history is. And also it mentions also the raw dogging. And then
I made a real mistake by saying
yeah,
raw
you
dog,
should
like,
not have
8
said that.
times.
Oh, and just encouragement again to like get into the spicy stuff.
People
You know,
want the
That's
sex,
yeah,
basically.
they want the sex. So,
Well, I was
Michelle
gonna say-
suggested that we read a sex scene from a book out loud on the
Okay,
air.
actually, that sounds fun. I was gonna say one of the places that I found like the most hot guys in like a cumulative place recently. You know, it's not common. Like I'm a married woman. It's less common that I'm gonna be like seeing like and like enjoying like I'm not out at clubs. But let me just tell you, like a month ago, my husband did this like horrible hilly 100. And
Oh yeah,
wow, my demo was served. Okay. It was like fit
50-year-olds.
dads who are 50 and have enough money to like have a nice bike and the leisure time to ride.
Yeah,
I was like, give me a spoon, you know, like yummy.
Mm.
It was great. And then it was like amazing because I was there to support my husband. So
But
I
you
was
could
like
also
winning on all
enjoy.
fronts.
Yeah, yeah,
it was
yeah,
just
yeah,
a little
yeah.
visual eye candy. And like
Yum.
people were in like a very emotional, raw dog state because
Uh-huh.
they just like climbed this like horrible hill. And so it
Yeah.
was just like a really nice
The walls
place,
were kind of like
the down and also like
yeah.
seeing how people were dealing with that was like I
Mhm.
was like weeding out the
Right,
you
right,
know,
right. You're like,
weeding 'em
you
out.
are not. You're a
When was like the last place that you've seen like like a cumulative mass of attractive
like a
men
lot
of
of hot
your
people.
of that you would have been potentially like, oh, I could be interested in that person in another life.
That seems like a very specific scenario to find yourself in.
It really was. That's why it was so fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think like, was there any like hotties when we were in Spain?
None.
Not really, right?
No.
Like it was bad. Like
It was bad.
it was only
like,
those like
noticeably bad.
70-year-old. Well, wait, hold on. It was those 70-year-old men or that like teenager that
The
we hung out with.
the teenager in the beach that
Who,
was
like-
like, hey, and like, literally they were like, we're going partying in a cave disco.
Oh yeah.
No, come on.
But there
think
was
about it. There's
actually in Mexico we did have an encounter on the
Oh.
street where we literally like ran into someone.
Okay, number one, this person's name was Joel, which
Joel.
no, Joel is how that's pronounced. Yeah, it was a meet cute. So what happened was we were on the street, and
We were going to dinner.
I would just
A
like to
late
say
dinner.
that Joel was not looking at me at all, and I know this because he asked if we were a couple. And this was like the fourth time that someone had asked if we were a couple.
Lesbian.
And every time someone asked us that, I was like so deeply, just like initial reaction was, how dare they? I am so beautiful and like straight appearing. And then my next thought was just like quickly surveying my appearance and like every single time realizing I was wearing like basically like men's clothing or like body hiding clothing. And like I looked extremely like dyke presenting like every single time that happened. You were wearing a gorgeous gown.
Yours. I was borrowing it from you, and it was
Which
like beautiful.
Somehow I
Looked great.
chose not to wear that, and I was wearing a two-piece
like a
suit, literally. And we like were walking out, and this man was like walking towards us, and he actually appeared to lose balance.
like to trip.
He tripped twice. He like tripped, and then he said something about how he was tripping, and then he like tripped again, and then he started saying to us something like, "No puedo ver cuando you know," like, he was basically saying like, you know, you're so beautiful, something in front
Yeah,
of me.
I fell.
Yeah, and then he was chatting to us.
Yeah,
Invited
that was,
us.
I mean, that was the
he
whole-
invited. We were going to a Michelin-starred restaurant that night.
yes.
Just the two of us on a date, and
where
he
they
was
did
like,
give
"Should
us
I?"
an anniversary dessert.
Oh yeah,
at the
yeah. They
restaurant.
give us an happy anniversary
So-
dessert. No clue why. And but he was like, I could come, and we were like,
Oh yeah, he invited
"No."
himself on our dinner date. And
We were
then
like,
he
"No."
invited us to skip it and just go to his like
quesadilla
his-
spot or something,
Yeah. It was,
which we
but
also
whatever.
said no to.
I mean, that was not your question at all, but that was like a kind of an attractive person that we ran into.
So that was like the
on the
last
street.
hot person you saw 6 months ago.
That was longer than 6 months ago, don't you think?
No, bro, that was in
Oh, yeah.
February.
Oh yeah,
It's like 4
okay.
months ago.
Okay.
No, I'm saying like a group of attractive people. Like that's why that's so special. Like I
Yes.
saw like 200.
Yeah, I understand. Of
It's
your
like throw a
type.
dart. You
Yeah,
know, it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
that never happens.
I understand. I don't have an experience of
Okay,
that to
noted.
share with you.
Thank you. Well, I hope that day comes for you soon.
Can we quickly like tease a couple of episodes or things that are coming up?
Absolutely. Though I think we got a bit sidetracked. There was one last email.
Oh yeah, okay, sorry. So this is from I can read this name on the air.
Yes.
Okay, this is from Mariah's friend Stephanie.
She's not your friend.
I mean, not as much as she's much more your friend
Okay,
than she
fine.
is my friend.
I call her Coach Stephanie. She is my an extraordinarily gifted athlete, and she has incredible dedication. And we run a lot out here in Wisconsin.
Yeah, and she's a
And
mom of how many
6 children.
6 children.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
She's amazing.
so nice. And we have recently found out that she's also a really good writer.
Yes.
And so I'm going to go ahead and read her email here. She says, I'm a longtime listener, but first time writing in.
Which I would just like to say, there's
It's a joke.
been like, oh, I see. That was a joke.
Yeah. She said she'd like to provide us with some feedback, and I hope it will be helpful for the success of your future episodes. She says, avoid false advertising. She said she felt monumental disappointment when I was told the recent episode would feature the worst smells you've ever smelt. It's just a nice sentence construction.
Sorry.
I was looking forward to this segment due to the fact that a couple of years ago, I experienced a traumatic smelling experience when I left an Instapot of chicken broth on my counter unattended while my family and I went on a week-long summer vacation. It is a smell that I will never forget.
That's bad.
That's
I can
bad.
kinda-
I can like imagine what that's
know.
like. Yeah.
It's
Gross.
like rotting meat kind of smell.
Yeah.
Oh.
Then she said, too, never, ever, ever eat food on the podcast. This is a core pet peeve of mine. Perhaps it is for other people, too, but as a longtime listener, I think that my preferences take slight priority.
It is pretty gross.
I understand the need to give crucial feedback and taste on the texture of chocolates, and it's valuable information for me and many listeners, I am sure. But I believe that all food consumption should be avoided in future episodes.
We'll
I
take
think
it into
that's, like-
consideration.
Like next time I'm in here, I'm having like some pad CU.
No.
Can
Can you imagine? Oh, that'd be a nasty one, like some pho.
Yeah.
Like,
And then this one is kind of rude here. It says, why do you not have friends with better taste in music? And also, I would like to say, friends, thank you so much for the submissions. Okay.
I
so
would
let's
like to
hear
say
it.
this.
Yeah.
I would just like to say nothing
I'd
except
say that.
this.
Spicy Wisconsin.
I like this one. I like this one too. It really brings the energy.
We don't give up. No prisoners. Go say what we want.
So, Stephanie, that's all I have to say in response to your comment.
Yeah, same. Exactly. She's saying that she's sorry that she wasn't able to put together something better for us, which would be kind of like a Shania Twain song with an
Well, I'm sorry. You're just coming in here to complain.
And
Like,
also,
you're
Stephanie-
offering nothing. You're saying, I'm sorry I can't do that. I would just say, like, why did point 3 even get put into the email?
Yeah, and also Stephanie, you could. Like you can run 28 miles.
No kidding.
Really
No, she
fast?
can run like 50,
You
100.
can run 50, 100 miles, but
Yeah.
you can't like make a song on
well,
AI
honestly,
for us.
it's really hard because you and I both tried, and I think we actually deleted those out of the
yeah,
mix.
those were so
Remember what mine was? It was. Yeah, it's not here anymore, and that's a good
No,
thing.
the one that we are using as our intro song is one that I came up
Oh,
with.
this one.
This
You
is
wrote
my-
this.
Wisconsin, a little show. Wisconsin, first now. Talk about Bill. We talk about boys.
Yeah, trust me, it can't get worse than that. And then Steve also came up with this one
Yeah.
using AI.
Spicy in Wisconsin.
I think that might be the best. I think yours has to go.
Yeah, I kind of like that one. Also, it's
It's
shorter. The one that I did is like embarrassing.
No, yours has got to go. All right. Well, thank you, Stephanie. I
first round.
appreciate the feedback. I would
Yes.
say a little bit of just, like that point 3 was totally unnecessary. And if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all.
And I would like to say that it's really nice to have an inbox that's at 0, but I would be happy to get some more listener submissions.
Please,
you know?
spicyinwisconsin@gmail.com. And since the listenership is so small, you're almost guaranteed a spot on the show if you
if you care
send
about that
in.
kind of thing, yeah.
Um,
and also let's just say too to my friend Michelle, thank you for listening, and also thank you for that great feedback that you gave us too. That email is far too long. It's not for the web.
Well,
and
Michelle
it's-
wrote a small novel,
yeah.
a novella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
Michelle,
received-
maybe we'll try and ask you on the show someday to talk about your experience working at American Girl, kind of during the heyday. Michelle was like one of the editors of that American Girl magazine that
Oh,
I'm
wow.
sure many of you have seen. So it'd be really fun to have her on to talk
Yeah,
about that.
actually, that's a great segue into just quickly discussing some of the upcoming content. So this is episode 2, longest fucking episode of my life. Not today,
oh,
but
you
just
mean because we recorded it
like
twice?
all of it. It's episode 2 is
Uh-huh.
hell.
Yeah.
But we are really only doing a 6-part series here for the summer because I will be taking the covered wagon back down to Illinois and for school in the middle of August. So we have 4 more full episodes coming. We are going to be doing an episode, which I'm actually really looking forward to, probably either next episode or the one after, about ghosts and ghost stories. Because Leah, you told me this story that I'd never heard from you, which is rare. We talk all the time. We talk twice a day, and
I
never
thought of
told
another
me.
one. I thought of another
Okay.
experience that I've had
So
too.
it made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. Like it was a really creepy story. And anyway, we would like to invite our friend Robin.
We have invited,
and she has confirmed that she's interested, and she is a medium. She has said before to me that she's psychic. She's really in touch with and in tune with that world. And I think this is a way to begin a conversation also about, like, I consider myself very closed off to that. Like, I don't have those experiences. I don't feel them. I don't really believe in them. So I think it'll be really interesting to and
I think we're a little bit different on that
we
too.
are.
Like, I think I'm a little closer to believing in kind of like access to the other side, or
absolutely. You're
things
always
that we
like conspiracy theory light, and I would say conspiracy theory.
Yeah, heavy.
So that's one. We do want to talk about an episode about like sort of I would say we're going to talk about glam. We're going to talk about our bodies. We're going to talk about food. We're going to talk about
our supplement stack,
our relationship, our supplement stack.
Yeah.
And that could even
some fashion.
I would even say like
makeup.
sex drive, like stuff like that. We could talk about like how that's changed for us over time, having children, like any of that stuff, how all of that's changed our relationship to like our bodies, how we feel about ourselves, all that.
Yeah. And we'd love to hear some listener submission questions on that too. Like things you would be interested in us discussing.
Absolutely. And I would say if you submit the question, we will probably answer it. I will try to answer everything you guys ask, even if it's like an embarrassing question.
Absolutely.
And then so that's kind of 2 episodes, and then we are going to have an episode probably with one of our family members. And I'd say the other one is open to interpretation. So whatever you guys are interested in, feel free to jump in. We have gone a bit long today, so we are not going to do our book review on Belle Burden's Strangers today.
Yeah,
but we will pick that up next week. We are planning on a recording earlier next week, and from here on out, you will have an episode every single week. Thank you guys so much for staying with us and keeping the encouragement. I was in a very, very dark place. Leah, how dark of a place was I in?
It was really bad. And you don't really get in a dark place that often. I mean, you were being like, I don't want to do this again. It's a failure. I hate it. I'm not ever doing it. We're done. You're saying, like, I was having to do a lot of like, encouraging you to keep going. And I'm so glad that we did.
If this podcast has any technical issue, get the fucking cyanide. Okay. I'm done. I'm so done. Leah was like, you can do anything. You can be president. And I was like, I cannot get fucking Riverside to work. So no, I can't. And don't say that. It wasn't good. But thank you all for bearing with us. Until next week, we will say peace out. Thank you guys again for listening, for staying with us, for your submissions. Keep them coming. And with that, we'll say sayonara, babies.
All right. See you next week.
Spicy in Wisconsin. We don't give a fuck. We take no prisoners. We'll say what we want.